All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And today, what are we going to talk about? Something that's been spoken about for the past, I don't know, well, past few years, but more so for the general public over the past week or so. All right, non-fungible tokens. And I want to talk about crypto and the digital future. Just give you some of my views on things. The bottom line is that what you see right now happening, you have a lot of, as you see, I'm just trying to make this stuff live, which is great. What you have are a lot of digital items that are going and being sold. You know, it's happening with digital art, virtual fashion, virtual worlds and things of that nature. Now, is there going to be a future with that? Yeah, we are going to see a lot more of this because NFTs, non-fungible tokens, these are issued, and they're not. It's not a crypto, so to speak. Okay, it is just for one item. Okay, and it proves without a shadow of a doubt that this particular person owns this particular piece of digital art. And I mean, in theory, the person that owns it can do anything they want with it. They can utilize it. They can probably monetize it. They can go license it out and do different types of things. It depends on the deal and how it's set up. But and again, in theory, the right thing to do if someone is buying those rights, they're buying that digital item, they can use it anywhere they want to use it. They want to use it in a virtual world. If they want to put it on a building, if they want to, license it out for print and things of that nature, I would imagine they would be able to do that. Again, depends on how it's structured. And the good thing about this is that when you have a digital item, okay, and it's an NFT, right? Basically, that digital asset is registered on a blockchain, so it goes from whoever created it and all the way down to whoever purchased it and so on and so forth. So you can't debate that a person owns it. That owns that particular thing, and I'm assuming that that may come into play for legal reasons too. If someone's using something that shouldn't be using it, kind of like when you have when you have Getty Images, you use one of their images on print or something, forget about it. You'll have lawsuits up the kazoo. So this is a protectionary measure, I would imagine that, and if someone owns it, it's like they're getting into that business. They're doing it probably as an investment, looking at the future. But keep in mind that not all digital assets will accrue in value. Okay, it's a hit or miss. It all depends on what it is. Even recently, Christie's auctioned off a digital asset. Granted, the artist, this is what, I don't know how many years the guy's been putting it together. It's 5,000 images or something, 5,000 days. The bottom line is that it sold for, I don't know, 56, whatever millions of dollars it was, an enormous amount. But again, the value is with the person that made the purchase. They see the value, so and they can do things with it. I guess you have a lot of images and you can do stuff, or they own it. So who's going to be able to utilize it? I'm assuming that they have licensing rights and so on and so forth. So anyway, I think that you're going to see a lot more of this happening. As I mentioned, you got the digital art. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of artists doing this. The thing is that what artists need to understand, just because you have a piece of art and you're gonna create an NFT, you're all excited about it, and you think that you're gonna be able to create all this tremendous value and so on and so forth. Remember, the value is in the person that's purchasing it. So you can go market and do that stuff, and hopefully you get some value with it. But there's no guarantee. You don't know. You don't know. The functionality that I see is that you can have someone that can have certain digital assets, and they can go and have an immutable source that shows that this person owns this. Now, it could, again, could it accrue in value? Sure, it can. Is there a guarantee? No, it's not. but you can create a business around it, meaning that if you own the rights to it because you own the digital asset, you can go monetize it. So that's where I see the value coming in. Um, I mean, you have collectibles, of course. I mean, this is the same thing when you have trading cards and things of that nature. Everything's going into a digital realm. Everybody remembers Tops. Tops went into that digital space a long time ago, but it wasn't the NFT part of it. Okay, and I know that I had some Tops. I probably still have. I would imagine I still have it. But the bottom line is, it wasn't anything like this. So with that happened with Tops, if they chose to do something with your cards, what how do you fight it? Okay, on in a blockchain situation, it's immutable. You can't deny it. It's undeniable. You own it. Okay, so you have that in digital art. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for artists, but they have to align with the right people in order to make it done. An artist doing it on their own, are they going to be able to make it happen? Who knows? Who knows? If you don't have the right partners, how are you going to be able to do it? So that's the big challenge, the big hurdle for them. You have a lot of independent artists out there that are looking to monetize their work. They don't get the exposure they want, so they need partners that'll help them to do this. So we'll see what happens. Okay, now virtual fashion, that's another thing. People have to understand that virtual fashion, it transcends what you may think it is. Okay, you can be an avatar in a game. I do urge people to go see, go rent or go to Amazon or something and look at Ready Player One. I believe it's on HBO, Amazon Prime, probably on Netflix. Look at that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, it's like when you have Barbie dolls and GI Joes and all these little dolls when you were a kid, and you were able to dress them up in different fashions. Okay, so basically this is the same thing but in a digital world. So now you're able to actually change, how you look, your hat, your glasses, your shirt, your pants, your shoes, and have items that are specifically owned by you. So basically, if you create something and it's there, it's owned by you. You can choose to sell it. Then this is where it becomes interesting because now you have an e-commerce situation in a digital world, and it happens. You can go and sell it, trade it, do whatever you need to do with it, and this all involves the digital asset. It also involves cryptocurrency. So, and these are the transactions that are happening. And the thing is, with an NFT, a non-fungible token, the bottom line is there's only one of that. So you can't reproduce, you can't break it apart. It's like taking, an airline ticket. You have it in your name, and it's for a particular flight going to a particular place at a particular time. That ticket is for that. You can't take it and say, "Hey, Joe, here goes a piece. Here goes a piece. Mom, here goes a piece. Kevin, here go." You can't do that. It's one. It's for that particular thing, for that particular thing. But it gives a utility to certain cryptos and things of that nature. People utilizing Bitcoin and Ethereum and so on and so forth to make these transactions happen. Okay, now virtual worlds have it. They're selling virtual real estate for millions of dollars, and it's interesting because in these worlds, again, Ready Player One, check it out. In virtual worlds, you have only so much land, just like in the real world. You can't reproduce anymore. I guess in the digital world you can, but it's set in a way that you really can't. Now, can you produce other worlds beyond that? Sure. And I think that's going to be something that's going to continue to happen. It's not that easy, but I'm sure it's going to happen. And, things, people will buy virtual land, and I guess you can monetize it too. I heard of someone that bought virtual land from someone else that had a casino or something on it, and they're actually monetized it, so they're making money on a daily basis from their virtual world, their virtual land there. So it's interesting because I guess there's gambling there and other things. So people, they're coming up with innovative ways to monetize it. Okay, now photographers too. They can utilize NFTs to go and monetize their work. The thing is that when you put that photograph or that piece of art on the blockchain and it's there, you have an NFT. You can't go and start using it, just because you want to. You're selling the rights to it. You're selling the rights to it. So if you have photographs and things of that nature, you're selling the rights to it. Now at that point, you don't own them anymore. You don't own them. Somebody else owns the digital rights to that. You may have the original, or maybe the original is bundled into something. I don't know. It depends on how the contract is written. Okay, and now the music industry. This is going to be something interesting because you have a lot of artists out there that are creating these NFTs for music, and it's only sound bites and stuff like that. But if you think about it, if you have a sound bite for a song, and it's really interesting because I'm seeing this more and more. Okay, people are putting videos and everything on social media. Okay, and they may be in a gym. They have background music. They may be somewhere else. They may have background music, and all of a sudden something comes, some sort of music comes on. You have no control of it. So if someone owns that NFT for that particular, 5 seconds or 10 seconds of a song, and they own it, they can go and force you to take that video down. It's happened with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and this is an interesting thing that's occurring. And I think you're going to see more of it because now the rights for that 5 or 10 seconds of that song, that little snip, was sold and is owned by someone. So again, it's going to be a type of business where people can monetize it, and it's going to happen. Okay. Now, as you see on here, I have the stock market, and the reason I bring that up is because what I see with NFTs and how it can be really interesting, blockchain in general, is for the ownership of stock in a company. All right. This is something that we happen to do now. Okay. But it's not, you don't have the mass adoption where people are going to be able to go and, for public markets, I mean, yeah, you have brokerage accounts and things of that nature, and you have the transfer agent that controls all this. But I think there's going to be a change. I think something's going to happen that the the I guess maybe the part of the transfer agent that has to do with transferring of the certificates may change. I'm not 100% sure on how that's going to happen, but I know that blockchain is going to be a part of it, and it's not going to be. I mean, it's not so much going to be a non-fungible token. I think it's going to be something that's going to be on the blockchain, and this is part of the digital future. This is part of where we're going. And we're going to see more and more of this, and I believe it to be true because at the end of the day, the future is bright, and digital is here. It's here, and you see it every day. Progression, progression, progression. Okay, from documents on to everything. Okay, look at what we're doing here. Look at what we're doing here. I'm coming to you. I'm producing this episode of Money Never Sleeps, and I'm doing it on Vero Hive, and there's no editing involved. And you see all the overlays that we have. The potential for even something like this, where digital art comes into play, is going to be interesting, and it could be potentially big. But I do think that um, the smart people are making, it's kind of like with domains. When domains first, when they first started to come out, no one really thought anything about it. They weren't collecting them. They were going and registering domains. At one point, way in the beginning, I had a two-letter domain that I didn't even think about at the time. Okay, where the value of that is ridiculous now. Just imagine the person that bought aid.com. I mean, it's there, and but I think that this is the next iteration of something like that with digital art. You have celebrities, you have professional athletes. They're putting together these NFTs for that. Blockchain, as I said, many different adoptions for it for the digital future. Okay, and I'm a big advocate of it. We're involved in advanced blockchain technology, and if it goes from manufacturing to medical to the legal profession. I mean, so many different industries that are going to be utilizing it now, logistics, so on and so forth. And you got to come up with the proper use, but proper utilization of it for a particular industry. And just to touch on crypto again, as I mentioned, because I have it here on the bottom here, I got to talk a little more about it with cryptocurrency. And I said it again time and time again. I said it before, saying it again, we'll continue to say it. You have to find the utility. You have to find the utility. If you don't have the utility for a cryptocurrency, then you have to question, what are you doing? You may have hopes that something's going to happen. And the only thing that I can say is that if you have a crypto that is working on something to create that value, then it may be a good play. You have to see what they're looking to do. And if you believe in it, you'll roll with it and you may benefit long term. So you just have to look for those special situations. All right. Anyway, that's about it for this edition of Money Never Sleeps. Just wanted to go over the NFT craze that's going on, and it is a craze because the value has to do with the utility of it. What is it going to be used for? I mean, you have to see, how they're going to be able to monetize it. And the digital future is bright, my friends, is bright in a lot of different ways. So all I can say is that look out for the next things that are going to be happening, and for those venture capitalists, those investors, those people that are looking for the next thing to attach themselves to because they missed a boat on other things, or maybe they were first investors in a Facebook. Who knows? Whatever, but you have to look for the next thing. You have a lot of companies going public via SPAC, and they're doing direct listings, from Korea to the United States to Europe to here to there, all over, and you have a lot of things happening there, and it's really interesting. And we're going to see more of it this year and going into next year. We're going to have a boom, people. We're going to have a boom. You thought we had a boom? We're going to have a boom because everybody's been on lockdown. Things are going to open up, and it's going to be a different type of environment where you're going to have a flexible work environment. People working from home, people going to the office, people, the people realize, and first of all, businesses realize that people can work remotely. Employees realize that, hey, I can have a better quality of life living in the forest as long as I have internet connectivity and still do my work and do it well and probably do it better because I'm more at ease. So we will see. I think that this is a permanent change, and it's going to be interesting. So don't look for video conferencing to go away anytime in the near future. Don't look for digital document execution and digital document management to go away. It's not happening. Look for artificial intelligence. Look for AI, AR. Look for blockchain. Look for all this stuff, and that's going to be in front of you. If you can find companies that are involved with this and creating disruptive things in this space, these are the companies you want to attach to. Okay, and again, this is stuff we do, So, but if you find companies like that, definitely, they're worth the ride. All right, that's about it for this edition of Money Never Sleeps. I'll be back with you with the next episode of Money Never Sleeps. Thank you.